he has done. He says, let my wealth, let my strength, let my riches, everything be burnt up immediately for the sinful activity which I have done. Now, in this way, when he was repenting, he gets the news. Sachintayan itham atha shrunoda yatha mune sutokto nit nit nir nirrutis takshakakyah sasadhu menena chirena takshaka nalam prasaktasya virakti karanam sachintayan itham atha ashrunod yatha. Now, in this way, when he was thinking, at that time he heard, he has heard that Mune Sutokto, the son Muna, the son of the sage, Suta means son, Ukta means he has spoken. What he has spoken? Niratis Takshakakyaha. Nirattihi means death is going to come in relationship with Takshakakyaha. Takshaka Akyaha. With relationship with the snake bird. Saha. So the king, Sadhu Mene, he accepted. Mene means accepted. Na chirena takshakaha. He accepted this as a good news. So in this way, Analam prasaktasya virakti karanam. Now it's not very long time, but the snake is going to come and remove his prana, by which prasaktasya virakti karanam, that is going to become the cause of his indifference to the material world. So Analam means the fire, because of the fire of death, his attachment to the material life is going to end. So he accepted this as a good news. Now just see. Somebody hears, oh, I'm going to die now. Will he accept like this? This is what is Parikshit Maharaj. Generally, we are afraid of death. Everyone is afraid of it. But here Parikshit Maharaj says, oh, wonderful. In this way, I'll become indifferent to the worldly things. So he accepted the news with as a very wonderful thing, and this is going to be the cause of his detachment to the worldly affairs. Okay, Sulaksha Prabhu, please read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The purpose, the real happiness is achieved by spiritual existence or by cessation of the repetition of birth and death. One can stop the repetition of birth and death only by going back to Godhead. In the material world, even by attaining the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, one cannot get rid of the conditions of repeated birth and death. But still we do not accept the path of attaining perfection. The path of perfection frees one from all material attachment, and thus one becomes fit to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Therefore, those who are materially poverty-stricken are better candidates than those who are materially prosperous. Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of the Lord and a bona fide candidate for entering into the kingdom of God. But even though he was his material assets as the emperor of the world were setbacks to perfect attainment of his rightful status as one of the associates of the Lord in the spiritual sky. As a devotee of the Lord, he could understand that the cursing of the Brahmana boy, although unwise, was a blessing upon him, being the cause of detachment from the worldly affairs, both political and social. Shamika Muni also, after regretting the incident, conveyed the news to the king as a matter of duty, so that the king would be able to prepare himself to go back to Godhead. Shamika Muni sent news to the king that foolish Shangi, his son, although a powerful Brahmana boy, unfortunately had misused his spiritual power by cursing the king unwarranted. The incident of the king's garlanding the Muni was not sufficient cause for being cursed to death. But since there was no way to retract the curse, the king was informed to prepare for death within a week. Both Shamika Muni and the king were self-realized souls. Shamika Muni was a mystic and Maharaj Parikshit was a devotee. There was no difference between them in self-realization. Neither of them was afraid of meeting death. Maharaj Parikshit could have gone to the Muni to beg his pardon, but the news of imminent death was conveyed to the king with so much regret by the Muni that the king did not want to shame the Muni further by his presence there. He decided to prepare himself for his imminent death and find out the way to go back to Godhead. The
So
life of a
here,
human.
here, wait. So very nicely it is said that the news has come. He could have gone and took pardon also or begged the pardon. But still, if you would have gone there, then Shamik Muni would have felt more regret. So because he did not want the king to be cursed, and now he cannot even see the king asking forgiveness. That will be more shameful. Okay, Raksha Mataji, read from here.
Hare Krishna Mataji, General Pranam. The life of a human being is a chance to prepare oneself to go back to Godhead or to get rid of the material existence. The repetition of birth and death. Thus, in the system of Varnashram Dharma, every man and woman is trained for this purpose. In other words, the system of Varnashram Dharma is known also as Sanatan Dharma or the eternal occupation. The system of Varnashram Dharma prepares a man for going back to Godhead, and thus the householder is ordered to go to the forest as the Vanprastha or acquire complete knowledge and then to take sannyas prior to his inevitable death. Parikshit Maharaj was fortunate to get 7 days' notice to meet his inevitable death. But for the common man, there is no definite notice, although death is inevitable for all. All foolish men forget this sure fact of death and neglect the duty of preparing themselves for going back to Godhead. They spoil their lives in animal propensities to eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy. Such an irresponsible life is adopted by the people in the age of Kali because of a sinful desire to condemn Brahminical culture. God consciousness and cow protection for which the state is responsible. The state must employ revenue to advance these three items and thus educate the populace to prepare for that. The state which does so, it is the real welfare state. The state of India should better follow the example of Maharaj Parikshit. The ideal executive had then to imitate other materialistic states which have no idea of the kingdom of Godhead. The ultimate goal of human life, deterioration of the ideals of Indian civilization has brought about the deterioration of civic life, not only in India but also abroad. Hare Krishna.
So when our principles are degrading, the principles has been very clearly explained in the previous verses. In the Prabhupada says, trade, commerce, whatever it may be, it should be supporting to the principle, or it should be subservient to three principles, that is association of devotees, God consciousness, that is Vaishnav Seva, God consciousness, and God consciousness means supporting the temple activities and cow protection. If these three are done, then every trade and commerce has a sense. Trade and commerce are meant for that. The same way here it has been said, if the ideals of Indian civilization is just following some materialistic state of just enjoyment, this enjoyment tendency is creeping the consciousness of the devotees also nowadays. They want to go. Somebody told me, Mataji, why are you taking to Mayapur Dham Yatra? You should take to America, Dubai. I said, is it? So what are you going to do there? People from there, they come to Mayapur Dham No, we should enjoy. I said, is it? But Vairagya Vidya, that has been propagated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. So in the place where you don't find even single temple also, and the place where you don't have any connection with the Lord here refers to connection with the Lord here refers to the place where you have the Lord who has appeared. Mahaprabhu has appeared in Mayapur Dham. How can he say take to some America and all that is better? It itself shows materialistic views and materialistic tendencies. So the so-called devotees who just take it for granted, they just come in the ISKCON and then they see, okay, let us enjoy, let us eat in Govindas. So this is a materialistic tendency. Okay, with that materialistic tendency, people come, enjoy, but somewhere or the other, one should become serious. This is okay for 1 or 2 years. Because these are lollipops, like you send your children to school, then you standard and all. Somewhere they have to become serious. So after studying for at least 10, 15 years, still a person is not serious. That means he's more interested in materialistic life. So here very clearly it has been said that Varnashrama Dharma, at one point of time, one has to take Vanaprastha and then sannyas. But still if he is engrossed in materialistic activity, then he will not get more time to prepare himself to go back home, back to Godhead, because this life is an opportunity to prepare ourselves to go back home, back to Godhead. For that, Srila Prabhupada says, follow the 5 important things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Association, book reading, chanting, dhambas, deity worship. These are the 5 important things which a person should follow, 5 important limbs. Now, Maharaj Parikshit came to know that the snake bird is going to kill him. Immediately, what did he do? He did not repent. He was not afraid. He did not go and ask forgiveness. In fact, he sat down on the banks of the Ganga. Atho vihaye mam amum chalokam vimarshitau heyataya purastat Krishnangrisevam abhimanyamana upavishat prayam amartanadyam atho vihaya. He gave up. What did he give up? All other practices, any other practices. He just rejected everything. He gave up everything. And then giving up everything. Amum lokam vimarshitaha. Heyatayaha purastat. So it is said here, he gave up all other methods of being judged. Purastat, Krishnangri, he just took the lotus feet of Krishna, Sevam, Abhimanyamanaha. One who thinks of the greatest of all achievements, Krishna is the greatest achievement a person can have. Upavishat, he sat down firmly. Prayam, for fasting. Amritya Nadyam. Amrita Nadyam refers to the Ganga or Yamuna. Here Ganga or Yamuna has been given. It is on the banks of Ganga. It can be Yamuna also. On the banks of transcendental river. Hastinapur, Yamuna also can flow. Ganga also can flow. That is why both this is given, Yamuna or Ganga. So giving up, and the next, Amum means next. The desire to enjoy other planets, you can say. There are many paths. Suppose a person comes to know that he is going to die, then he has many choices. He can do some atonement by which he can go to other planetary systems also, but he gave up all those things. He said, no, I just want to take the shelter of Vishnu, Narayana or Krishna. And that is the greatest achievement what I can have. What is the purpose of doing some atonement or prashchitta and trying to go to some other planets, trying to worship some devatas and go to other planets. Better is I concentrate my mind in Krishna consciousness. I reject all other practices of self-realization. So in the purport, last purport, we saw that how Srila Prabhupada says Shamik Rishi is also mystic. He is a mystic and Parikshit Maharaj is a devotee. Both have self-realization. Even mystic people also have self-realization, Gyanis, Yogis. The difference is only one thing. They try to achieve that achievement, the highest goal by different processes. And here, Parikshit Maharaj wants to achieve that greatest benefit, that is taking the shelter of Krishna by just sitting on the banks of Ganga and hearing about Krishna. So that is the difference. And goal may not be very clear to a Jnani or a Yogi until unless a devotee is instructing them. He has to come under the guidance of a devotee. Then the goal for a Jnani and a Yogi will be clear. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvanman Prapadyate. So it is not that Jnani will not achieve. He will also achieve. When he will achieve? Only when he comes in contact with a devotee. Any yogis also have that mystic power. They have controlled their senses. They are also self-realized. But until unless they come in contact with a devotee, they cannot understand the goal of life. Or sometimes they are stuck up with the siddhis what they get. And in this way, they just try to cure somebody, or in this way, so many siddhi powers and all they will show. But goal of life can be understood only when he comes in contact with Krishna or contact with the devotees of Lord. Okay, Gyandeep Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Prepared by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For a devotee like Maharaja Parikshit, none of the material planets, even the topmost Brahmaloka, is as desirable as Goloka Vrindavan. The abode of Lord Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord and original personality of Godhead. The earth is one of the innumerable material planets within the universe, and there are innumerable universes also within the compass of the Mahatattva. The devotees are told by the Lord and his representatives, the spiritual masters or acharyas, that not one of the planets within all the innumerable universes is suitable for the residential purpose of devotee. The devotee always desires to go back home, back to Godhead, just to become one of the associate of the Lord in the capacity of servitor, friend, parent, or conjugal love of the Lord, either in one of the innumerable Vaikuntha planet or in Golaka Vrindavan, the planet of Lord Sri Krishna. All these planets are eternally situated in the spiritual sky. The Para-Vyoma, which is one on the other side of causal ocean within the Mahatattva. Maharaja Parikshit was already aware of all this information due to his accumulated piety and birth in a high family of devotees, Vaishnavas, and thus he was not at all interested in the material planets. Modern scientists are very eager to reach the moon by material arrangements, but they cannot conceive of the highest planet of this universe. But a devotee like Maharaja Parikshit does not care a fig for the moon or, for the matter, any of the material planets. So when he was assured of his death on a fixed date, he became more determined in the transcendental loving service of the Lord Krishna by complete fasting on the bank of the transcendental river Yamuna, which flows down by the capital of Hastinapur in the Delhi state. Both the Ganges and the Yamuna are Amritya, transcendental rivers, and the Yamuna is still more sanctified for the following reasons. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So both Ganga and Yamuna are Amrityaha. Amrityaha means transcendental rivers, and the Yamuna is still more sanctified for the following reasons. Yamuna flows from the heart of Krishna. That is why Yamuna is considered to be more sanctified. So anyhow, here it has been very clearly written that is more determined in the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna by completely fasting on the banks of the transcendental Yamuna, because that only flows through Hastinapur. Okay. या वै लसत् श्री तुलसी विमिश्रा कृष्णाङ्घ्रिरेणव्यधिकाम्बुर्नेत्री पुनातिलोकान् उभयत्र शेषान् कस्तां न सेवेत मरिष्यमानः या वै लसत् श्री तुलसी विमिश्रा कृष्णाङ्घ्रिरेणव्यवधिकाम्बुनेत्री पुनातिलोकान् उभयत्र शेषान् कस्तां न सेवेत मरिष्यमानः या वै लसत् श्री तुलसी विमिश्र. Vimishra means Vishesha Rupena Mishra, mixed. It's not just mixed. Vishesha. See, English is a very insufficient language to express the things. It is not Mishra. This is Vimishra. That is Vishesha Rupena, some mixture is there. What is that mixture? It is having Tulasi. And Vishesha is, it has the dust, Renu Krishnangri. It has the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. Abhyadika, in this way it has become an auspicious ambu, auspicious water. Netri punati lokan. So in this way it is carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna, Tulasi. It's sanctifying the planets, punati lokan, ubhayatraha, sa iha, ubhayatraha. Both upper and the lower, middle, everything, inside, outside, everything is sanctified. And then Sa Ishan along with Lord Shiva. That means it is the water is purifying everyone, inside, outside, everyone, along with Lord Shiva. Kahatam na sevet marishyamanaha. So in this way, everybody is destined to die. Marishyamanaha. So what they should do? They should take shelter of this river. That is why Ganga is present in everyone's house. Somebody is going to die, then what they do? They put Ganga in the water. They put Ganga in the mouth. In this way, Ganga is worshipped. Gangaji is worshipped in every house. Because everybody cannot run till Haridwar. Everybody cannot run till Yamuna and reside there. So it is said here, they must take shelter of this river. Even every day also, when you take bath, you should remember 3 rivers. Ganga, Saraswati, Yamuna. While praying to Ganga, one should ask, you can contemplate and immediately you will find yourself in the banks of Ganga. You just have to meditate. Even bathing should be also, it can be sanctified. It can be completely Krishna conscious. Don't be conscious of the best soap and the best luxurious tub and all those things. While taking bath, remember Ganga. Gangaji gives Dhyanam. Gangaji gives sanctity, purity. So Jnanam and purity can be asked from Mother Ganga. Remember Saraswati. If you have visited Badri, you have Saraswati flowing. So you can just contemplate on Saraswati and ask for Vaishnav Sadachar. Oh Mother Saraswati, please give me Vaishnav Sadachar. It's very important jewel, the most important ornament for a devotee. The ornament is Vaishnav etiquette. And then when you pray Yamunaji, you ask for pure devotional service. The love for your Guru Acharya. From there only your devotional service starts. So just see these 3 rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, they come to purify us. When they can purify Shiva, Lord Shiva, then they can purify us also. Everybody is asking for purification. Even Lord Shiva is asking for purification. That is why Lord Shiva holds Ganga on his head. So in this way here, everybody should take shelter and become Krishna conscious even while taking bath. You can take bath in the railway, what is it? bathrooms are there, railway bathrooms. There also, if you remember these three rivers, then you are purifying yourself. It is not just your water, just your good soaps or shampoos and all is going to purify. No, our consciousness should be purified. Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine saputahitamata sansara maranashanam. So our contamination can be removed only when we purify ourselves by taking bath in these three rivers, either physically or mentally. So try to do this every day. It is a practical application. After taking bath, the moment you take bath, remember three rivers. Ask for purity. Ask for Jnanam from Mother Ganga. Ask for Vaishnav Sadachar from Mother Saraswati. Ask for pure devotional service. Seva to your Guru Acharya, by which pure devotional service can be attained. Ask to Mother Yamuna. So in this way, when you do this, you can find that actually you have taken bath in these three rivers. Water is only a madhyam. Okay. Kankanga Prabhu, please read the purport.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। तात्पर्य शिला प्रभुपाद जी के द्वारा शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। यदि नदी गंगा जिसके किनारे राजा उपवास करने बैठे थे अत्यंत शुभ जल धारण करती है, जिसमें भगवान के चरण कमलों की धूल तथा तुलसी दल मिश्रित रहते हैं, अतएव यह तीनों लोकों को भीतर बाहर से पवित्र बनाता है और शिवजी तथा अन्य देवताओं को भी पवित्र करता है। अतएव जिसकी मृत्यु निश्चित हो उसे इस नदी की शरण ग्रहण करनी चाहिए। तात्पर्य, महाराज परीक्षित 7 दिनों के भीतर अपनी मृत्यु की सूचना पाते ही तत्काल गृहस्थ जीवन से निवृत्त हो लिए और यमुना के पवित्र तट पर चले गए। सामान्यतः यह कहा जाता है कि राजा ने गंगा नदी के किनारे शरण ली थी, लेकिन श्रील जीव गोस्वामी के अनुसार राजा ने यमुना तट पर शरण ली थी। भौगोलिक स्थिति की दृष्टि से श्रील जीव गोस्वामी का कथन अधिक सटीक प्रतीत होता है। महाराज परीक्षित अपनी राजधानी हस्तिनापुर में वास करते थे, जो वर्तमान दिल्ली के निकट स्थित है, और यमुना नदी इस नगर के पास होकर बहती है। स्वाभाविक है कि राजा यमुना नदी के तट पर शरण ग्रहण करेंगे, क्योंकि यह नदी उनके महल के द्वार से होकर बह रही थी। और जहां तक पवित्रता की बात है, यमुना नदी गंगा नदी की अपेक्षा भगवान कृष्ण से अधिक प्रत्यक्ष रूप से संबंधित है। भगवान ने इस जगत में अपनी दिव्य लीलाओं के प्रारंभ से ही यमुना नदी को पवित्र बनाया। जब उनके पिता वासुदेव बालक कृष्ण को लेकर यमुना पार करके मथुरा से गोकुल ले जा रहे थे, तो भगवान इस नदी में गिर पड़े थे और भगवान के चरण कमलों की धूलि का स्पर्श पाकर वह तुरंत ही पवित्र हो गई थी। यहाँ पर विशेष उल्लेख है कि महाराज परीक्षित ने उस विशेष नदी की शरण ग्रहण की जो सुंदर ढंग से बह रही थी और तुलसी दल से मिश्रित भगवान के चरण कमलों की धूलि लिए जा रही थी। भगवान कृष्ण के चरण कमलों पर सदैव तुलसी दल चढ़े रहते हैं, अतएव ज्यों ही उनके चरण कमल गंगा तथा यमुना नदी के जल को स्पर्श करते हैं, त्यों ही नदियां पवित्र हो जाती हैं। लेकिन भगवान ने गंगा की अपेक्षा यमुना का अधिक स्पर्श किया। वराह पुराण के अनुसार, जैसा कि श्रील जीव गोस्वामी ने उद्धृत किया है कि गंगा या यमुना नदियों के जल में कोई अंतर नहीं है, किंतु जब गंगा का जल 100 गुना पवित्र हो जाता है तो वह यमुना कहलाती है। इस तरह शास्त्रों में कहा गया है कि विष्णु के 1000 नाम राम के एक नाम के बराबर है और राम के 3 नाम कृष्ण के एक नाम के तुल्य है। हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत नाम।
So very clearly it has been said that there is no difference between Ganga and Yamuna. But because Lord has done many rasa pastimes on the banks of Yamuna, that is why when Ganga is 100 times, 100 times sanctified, then she is called as Yamuna. And then in the same way here it is said 1000. Shri Rama Rama Rame Titrame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Dattulyam Rama Nam Varanam. So 1000 names of Vishnu is equal to one name of Rama. 3 names of Rama is equal to one name of Krishna. That means one name of Krishna is equal to 3 times chanting 1000 names of Vishnu. Sahasram, 3000 times. Iti vyavachitya sa pandaveyaha prayopavesham prati Vishnu padyam dadhau mukundangrimananya bhavo munivrato mukta samasta sangaha. Iti vyavachitya sa pandaveyaha प्रायोपवेशं प्रति विष्णुपद्यां दधौ मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिमनन्यभावो मुनिव्रतो मुक्तसमस्तसङ्गः. So descendant of Pandava, that is the king Parishit. Now he decided again, once again, he has decided, now firmly he has decided. What he has decided? Praya upavesham, upavas. He is going to fast until death. Prati Vishnu Padyam. This way he is going to sit on the banks of Ganga, fasting until death, giving himself Dadhau Mukunda Angrim unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Ananya Bhava, without deviation, Muni Vrataha. In this way he took the vow Mukta Samasta Sangaha. So he has freed himself from all kinds of attachments. He accepted the vow of a sage. Mukta Samasta Sangha. He freed himself from all association. He took the vow of a sage. Vow of a sage. What is the vow of a sage? That I will fast unto death. I will give myself unto the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is the only way to get liberation. This is who alone is able to award liberation. Only Krishna can give liberation. That is why he is Mukunda, Mukunda, Mukti Pradata. That is why his name is Mukunda. And you can also say Mukhara Kundavati, whose lotus face is like Kundava, Kunda flower. So Ananya Bhavaha, without any deviation. This Ananya Bhakti is very important. If a person is deviated, has some motives, then that is not Bhakti. Bhakti means there should not be any motives, there should not be any deviation. Whatever we are doing every day, that should be continued. It's not that today I do something, tomorrow I'll do something. No. Every day one should chant the holy name. Every day one should wake up early in the morning. Every day one has to apply the tilak. Every day one has to hear. Every day one has to chant. One has to serve in the temple. So this is no deviation. There should not be any deviation. The moment we are deviated, understand, as one pointed attention goes, then we can never attain the goal of life. Or sometimes let me enjoy, let me go to some clubs and pubs. No, it doesn't work. One has to have Vyavasayatmika buddhi, ekeha purunandana, bahushaka anantasha buddhe vyasayana. So that one pointed attention, I should serve the temple. I should serve my Lord very nicely. Wherever I am connected, I should serve. Whatever mission has been given to me by my spiritual master, I should sincerely do it. That's the only thing. That is what is given here. Okay, Vrindavan Mataji read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The water of the Ganges sanctifies all the 3 worlds, including the gods and the demigods, because it emanates from the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead Vishnu. Lord Krishna is the fountainhead of the principle of Vishnu Tattva, and therefore shelter of his lotus feet can deliver one from all sins, including an offense committed by a king unto a Brahmana. Maharaj Parikshit therefore decided to meditate upon the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, who is Mukunda, or the giver of liberation of all description. The banks of the Ganges or the Yamuna give one a chance to remember the Lord continuously. Maharaj Parikshit freed himself from all sorts of material association and meditated upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And that is the way of liberation. To be free from all material association means to cease completely from committing any further sins. To meditate upon the lotus feet of the Lord means to become free from the aspects of all previous sins. The conditions of the material world are so made that one has to commit sins willingly or unwillingly. And the best example is Maharaj Parikshit himself, who was a recognized sinless, pious king. But he also became a victim of an offense, even though he was never unwilling to commit such a mistake. He was cursed also, but because he was a great devotee of the Lord, even such reverses of life became favorable. The principle is that one should not willingly commit any sin in his life, should constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord without deviation. Only in such a mood will the Lord help the devotee make regular progress towards the path of liberation and thus attain the lotus feet of the Lord. Even if there are accidental sins committed by the devotee, the Lord saves the surrendered soul from all sins, as confirmed in all scriptures. स्वपादमूलं भजतः प्रियस्य त्यक्तानि अभवस्य हरिः परेशः विकर्म यच्चोतपतितं कथाञ्च धुनोति सर्वं हृदि सन्निविष्टः. Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 42nd verse. Hare
Just by
Krishna.
taking shelter of Krishna, he can be removed from all the sins. Vikarma yachot patitan kathanchit dhunoti sarvam hridi sannivishta. Dhunoti means everything is automatically removed just by taking shelter of Krishna. तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशैः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः. तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशैः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः. So everybody attached came there. Tatra upajagmu. Upajagmu means arrived. Bhuvanam punana. From all the places, the universe. Punana mahanubhava. All mahanubhavas, muniha, thinkers, along with their disciples, sashishyaha. There was no WhatsApp message there. That Parishit Maharaj has sat on the banks of Ganga and Sukadev Goswami is going to come there. So all of you please arrive. See these WhatsApp messages now, even if you give also nowadays, nobody sees also WhatsApp message. Even if you call also, they'll not pick up the phone. Because the inclination to hear is not there, it's degrading. So even WhatsApp messages have become failures. Everybody says, okay. And if you call them, they'll not pick up the phone. Why? All are very busy. Inclination to hear is not there. But in that time, just see how they came to know. How they came to know that Parikshit Maharaj is sitting on the banks of Ganga, and they knew that Parikshit Maharaj is not taking any other method. He just wants to hear from a pure devotee. He wants to hear about Lord. So every person, every Muni, great sages, accompanied by their disciples, they all came there. That means eagerness to hear is there. They are great sages, they know about Krishna, but still they also want to hear. Abhigama apadeshaihi. So they were all present. Tirthani bunanti santaha. So in this way, at that time, all great mind thinkers, accompanied by their disciples, sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence. There's a power of the sages. They can purify even the pilgrimage. Because materialistic people come and deposit sins in pilgrimage. So the sages come, tirthi kurvanti tirthani. What they do? They come, they swayam marga tirtha. Swantastena gadavrataha. The verse is told by whom? By
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
to Vidura. What is that verse? Who can tell that verse?
In 1:13:10, I think.
Yes.
Bhagavat
Bhavatvidha
Mataji,
Bhagavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swanta Sena Gadapita.
Yes. So you yourself are a tirtha. So all the sages, they have the potency to sanctify even the place of pilgrimage. They all arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrimage journey. So some came just for a journey, and some by the will of providence. Somehow Krishna brought all great sages from different places of the universe over there. Okay. Venkatesh Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna. When Maharaj Parikshit sat down on the bank of the Ganges, the news spread in all directions of the universe, and the great-minded sages who could follow the importance of the occasion all arrived there on the play of pilgrimage. Actually, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit and not to take a bath of pilgrimage because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the places of pilgrimage. Common men go to the pilgrimage sites to get themselves purified of all sins. Thus, the places of pilgrimage become overburdened with the sins of others. But when such sages visit the overburdened places of pilgrimage, they sanctify the places by their presence. Therefore, the sages who came to meet Maharaj Parikshit were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men, but on the play of taking a bath in the place they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit because they could foresee that Srimad Bhagavatam would be spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. So all of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasion.
It's like why devotees go to yatra? To take bath or to hear about Krishna?
Hear about
Because by hearing about Krishna, automatically one is sanctified more than even taking bath in the river. So that is why a devotee always seeks an opportunity to come in yatra, so that he can hear about Krishna more and more. He gets opportunity to hear that too in such a wonderful place and hear about Krishna, chant more. So he is not much interested in taking bath, but he is more interested in taking a real bath. The real bath is in the glorification of Krishna. So who were all the sages who came from different parts of the universe? Atrit Vasishthascha Vanah Sharadvan Arishtanemi Bhrugurangarish Bhrugur Angirascha Parasharogadi Sutotharama Utatte Indra Pramededhama Mahvaho Indra Prameded Mavaho Medatithirdevala Arstisheno Arstishena Arstikshenah Bharadvajo Gautama Pipaladah Maitrah Auravah Kuvashah Kumbhayoni Dvaipayano Bhagavan Naradascha Atrirvashishtascha Vanah Sharadvan Arishtanemi Bhrugurangirascha Parasharogadi Sutotharama Utatte Indra Pramadedamavaho Medhatithirdevala Arstisheno Bharadvajo Gautamaha Pipaladah Maitre Aurava Kavashah Kumbhayonir Vaipayano Bhagavan Naradascha Atri to Narada. So all names of different saintly personalities who arrived there from different parts of the universe. So Atri Rishi, Chavana Rishi, Sharadvan, Arishtanemi, Bhrugu, Vashishta, Parashara, Vishwamitra, Angira. Gadhi means Vishwamitra. Parashara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parashuram, Rama, Parashuram, then Uttatya, Utathya, Indra Pramada, Idmavahu, then Medha Tithi, then Devala, Arish, Arshtishenaha, Bharadwaj, Gautama, Pipalada, Maitreya, Aurava, Kuvasha, Kumbayoni, Dvaipayana, and the great personality Narada. Now, about different rishis have been spoken here. Atri to Narada. So let us see. Bindu Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Chavana, a great sage and one of the sons of Bhrigu Muni. He was born prematurely when his pregnant mother was kidnapped. Chavana is one of the 6 sons of his father. Bhrigu. When Brahmaji was
Chavan
performing
Prash came from Chavan Muni only. Yeah?
Huh.
Know that story, na? Ashwini Kumar. Chavan.
Bhrigu. When Brahmaji was performing a great sacrifice on the behalf of Varuna, Maharishi Bhrigu was born from the sacrificial fire. He was a great sage, and his dear wife was Puloma. He could travel in space like Durvasa, Narada, and others, and he used to visit all the planets of the universe. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, he tried to stop the battle. Sometimes he instructed Bharadwaj Muni about astronomical evolution, and he is the author of the great Bhrigu Samhita, the great astrological calculation. He explained how air, fire, water, and earth are generated from ether. He explained how the air in the stomach works and regulates the intestines. As a great philosopher, he logically established the eternity of the living entity, Mahabharata. He was also a great anthropologist, and theory of evolution was long ago explained by him. He was a scientific profounder of the 4 divisions and orders of human society known as the Varnashram institution. He converted the Kshatriya king Vithavya into a Brahmana.
So we know how Bhrigu Rishi, because of him, Lord Balaji has appeared. Mahalakshmi went to Kolhapur. He is the same Bhrigu Rishi. Okay, Vashishta. See Bhagavatam 1.9.6. In that also it is there. Okay, Parashara, read further.
Parashara. He is the grandson of Vashishta Muni and the father of Vyasadeva. He is the son of Maharishi Shakti, and his mother's name was Adrishyati. He was in the womb of his mother when she was only 12 years old, and from within the womb of his mother he learned the Vedas. His father was killed by a demon, Kalmashapada, and to avenge this he wanted to annihilate the whole world. He was restrained, however, by his grandfather Vashishta. He then performed a Rakshasa killing yagya, but Maharishi Pulasya restrained him. He begot Vyasadeva, being attracted by Satyavati, who was to become the wife of Maharaj Sanatpani. By the blessings of Parashara,
Santanu.
By the blessings of Parashara, Satyavati became pregnant for miles. He was present also during the time of Bhishma's death. He was spiritual master of Maharaj Janaka and a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He is the author of many Vedic scriptures and sociological directions.
So you have the Vyasa's Pranam mantra. Vyasam Vashishta Naptaram Shaktai Pautram Akalmasham Parasharatmajam Mande Shukatatam Taponidhim. Who can tell this? Whole lineage is given. Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram. Who is Vyasa? Who is Vyasa? Vasishtanaptaram Shaktai Pautra Makalmasham. Parasharatmajam Mande Shukatatam Taponidhim. So find out. Whole lineage is there. Find out. Tell
Shakti's
the
grandson. Shakti's grandson.
See, Parashara's son is Vyasa. Okay? Who is Parashara? Shakti's son. Parashara. Vyasam, Vashishta. And who is Vashishta? He is the Kulaguru for Vashishta's son Shakti. Shakti's son Parashara. Parashara's son Vyasa. Shakti you will find in the in Ramayana you will find Shakti. So it starts like this. Vashishta was a Kulaguru for Rama. Vyasa's son is Shakti. Shaktai Pautra Makalmasham. Parasharat. Parashara is Shakti's son. And Parashara's son is Vyasa. So Vyasa becomes, Vashishta becomes the grandfather of
Parashara.
Vashishta. Parashara is the grandson of, Vashishta. So Vashishta. He becomes the grandson of Vashishta. Parashara's son, Parashara's son is Vyasa. Vyasa.
Grandfather Vashishta.
And father of Vyasadeva. Shaktai Pautram Makalmasham. Shakti's son is Vashishta. Shakti's son is Vashishta. Vashishta's son is Parashara. Parashara's son is Vyasa. That is how Vashishta becomes the grandfather of Vyasa. I think I'm right. Yeah. Parashara is the grandson of Vashishta. No, I am wrong again. First only I was right. Vashishta's son is Shakti. Shakti's son is Parashara. Barabar. And then Parashara's son is Vyasa. And then I thought, how? Yes, because Shakti comes in the, he is there, he is present when Vishwamitra takes Ram and Lakshmana to the kingdom of Janak. His name comes the Shakti. That is how the link was there. Yes. Vashishta's son is Shakti. Shakti's son is Parashara. Parashara's son is Vyasa. So that is why Parashara's grandfather is who? Vashishta. Okay. Now I don't want to confuse myself also yourself. Okay. So one thing is there, when Janak Maharaj's kingdom, he is there. Who is there? Shakti is there. Shakti is there in Janak Maharaj's kingdom. Okay. Gadhi Sutta or Vishwamitra. Gadhi Sutta. Father was Gadhi. Okay. Who will read? Vimla Mataji read.
Hare Krishna. Gadhi Sutta or Vishwamitra, a great sage of austerity and mystic power. He is famous as Gadhi Sutta because his father was Gadhi, a powerful king of the province of Kanyakuja, part of Uttar Pradesh. Although he was a Kshatriya by birth, he became a Brahman in the very same body by the power of his spiritual achievements. He picked a quarrel with Vasishta Muni when he was a Kshatriya king and performed a great sacrifice in cooperation with Maganga Muni, and thus was able to vanquish the sons of Vasishta. He became a great yogi, and yet he failed to check his senses and thus was obliged to become the father of Shakuntala, the beauty queen of world history. Once, when he was a Kshatriya king, he visited the hermitage of Vasishta Muni and he was given a royal reception. Vishwamitra wanted from Vasishtha a cow named Nandini, and the Muni refused to deliver it. Vishwamitra stole the cow, and thus there was a quarrel between the sage and the king. Vishwamitra was defeated by the spiritual strength of Vasishtha, and thus the king decided to become a Brahman. Before becoming a Brahman, he underwent severe austerity on the bank of the Kaushik. He was also one who tried to stop the Kurukshetra war. Angira. He is one of the 6 mental
Wait,
sons.
wait, wait. Trishanku, the story of Trishanku is there because of Vishwamitra, because he wanted to have competition with Vasishtha. He wanted to become Brahma Rishi. Actually, he's a Kshatriya. But when he saw the cow, and when he went to Vasishtha, he saw that Vasishtha has the capacity to feed so many kings, so many soldiers and ministers, whoever he has taken. But it was a small hermitage. Then they were all hungry. Vishwamitra, that time is the king, he's hungry, everybody is hungry. And somebody says there is a sage who can provide us. He said, what the sage can give? Let us go and ask. And there was a wonderful lunch arrangement done by the king because of the Kamadhenu cow which he had, Nandini. So Vishwamitra wanted that Nandini, but Vasishtha refused to give. Because of that, he did a lot of tapasya, he wanted to become the Brahma Rishi, and all these things happened. Then a person comes, I want to go to heaven directly. The Trishanku, he tries to make a planet for him. So the story is connected with Vishwamitra. Okay, Angira. Read.
Angira. He is one of the 6 mental sons of Brahma and the father of Brihaspati, the great learned priest of demigods in the heavenly planets. He was born of the semen of Brahmaji given to cinder of fire. Uttathya and Shamvrata are his sons. It is said that he is still performing austerity and chanting the holy name of the Lord at a place known as Alokananda on the banks of the Ganga.
And Parashuram, again 1.9.6. Uttathya.
One of the three sons of Maharshi Angira. He was the spiritual master of Maharaja Mandhata. He married Bhadra, the daughter of Som, moon. Varun kidnapped his wife Bhadra, and to retaliate the offense of the god of water, he drank all the water of the world. Medhatithi, an old sage of yore, an assembly member of the heavenly king Indradeva. His son was Kanva Muni, who brought up
Kanva Rishi, who brought up Shakuntala. Another story. Yeah.
He was promoted to the heavenly planet by strictly following the principles of retired life Vanprastha. Deval, a great authority like Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. His good name
Devala Vyasaha.
His good name is on the list of authorities mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna acknowledged Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He met Maharaja Yudhishthir after the Battle of Kurukshetra, and he was the elder brother of Dhaumya, the priest of the Pandav family. Like the Kshatriyas, he also allowed his daughter to select her fourth husband in a Swayambar meeting. And at that ceremony, all the bachelor sons of the rishis were invited. According to some, he is not Asit Devan. Bharadwaj, see Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.6. Gautam, one of the 7 great sages of the universe. Shraddhavan Gautam was one of his sons. Persons in the Gautam Gotra dynasty today are either his family descendants or in his disciplic succession. The Brahmanas who profess Gautam Gotra are generally family descendants, and the Kshatriya and Vaishya who profess Gautam Gotra are all in the line of his disciplic succession. He was the husband of the famous Ahalya, who turned into stone when Indradev, the king of the heaven, molested her. Ahalya was delivered by Lord Ramchandra. Gautam was the grandfather of Kripacharya, one of the heroes of the battle of Kurukshetra. Maitreya, a great rishi of yore. He was the spiritual master of Vidura and a great religious authority. He advised Dhritarashtra to keep good relations with the Pandavas. Duryodhan disagreed and thus was cursed by him. He met Vyasdev and had religious discourses with him. Hare Krishna.
Maitreya Vidura Sambad, you find Maitreya Rishi advised Duryodhana, but then Duryodhana disagreed, was cursed. So near Gautam Rishi, grandfather of Kripacharya, you see how the connections are. Okay. Asitaha Devalaha Vyasaha. Here it said he is not Asita Devala. In one place it is written, no, he is the same person. Asita Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Brahmishime. It said. Okay. Anyecha Vevarshi Brahmarishi Varya Rajarishi Varya Arunadayascha Nanarishya Pravaran Sametan Abhyarchaya Raja Shirsha Vavande Anye cha Devarshi Brahmarshivarya Rajarishivarya Arunadayascha Nanarsheya Pravaran Sametan Abhyarchaya Raja Shirsha Vavande. So many other saintly demigods also were present. Devarshi, Brahma Rishis, saintly Brahmanas, Variha, the topmost Rajarshis, topmost saintly kings were present. Aruna Adayaha, a special rank of Rajarishis, Aruna Adayaha. Then many others were there. Arsheya Pravaran, the chief among the dynasties of the sages were there. Arsheya Pravaran. Sametan, all were assembled there. Abhyarcha. So they all together met the king who worshipped them, bowed his head to the ground. Abhyarcha Raja. Raja worshipped them. How? Shirsha Bhavande. He welcomed them. Once you see a sage, first thing what you do, you bow down. So Raja, he bowed down to everyone and he properly welcomed them. Okay. Vrindavan Leela Mataji, continue.
Hare Krishna. The system of bowing the head to the ground to show respect to superiors is an excellent etiquette which obliges the honored guest deep into the heart. Even the first great offender is excused simply by this process. And Maharaj Parikshit, although honored by all the rishis and kings, welcomed all the big men in that humble etiquette in order to be excused from any offenses. Generally, at the last stage of one's life, this humble method is adopted by every sensible man in order to be excused before departure. In this way, Maharaj Parikshit implored everyone's goodwill for going back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Last verse. Sukhopavishte vatha teshu bhuyah krita pranamah svachikirshitam yat vigyapayam asa vivikta cheta upastito kre vigrita panihi sukhopavishte vatha teshu bhuyah krita pranama Swachikirshitam yat vikyapayas yamasa vivikta cheta upastito gre bhigruhita panihi. Then sukha upavishteshu. First thing what you should do, somebody comes to your house, especially great sages come. We should first show happiness. The first thing to be shown is the happiness on their arrival. Make them sit down. Now, Parishit Maharaj did that. Happily made them sit down. Athateshu bhuyah kruta pranamah. Again paid obeisances. Swachikirshitam. Now he told about his decision. Yat vikya payam asaha. In this way, he submitted. Vivikta chetaha. So they are all, their mind is attached, the one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs. He told them, told to the sages, for their mind is completely detached from worldly affairs. Upasthita, they were all present. Agre. So standing before them, Agrehe, Api Grihita Panihi, with folded hands. If you see in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, when they stand before their acharyas, they will stand like this. You know that? They'll bow down and stand like this. Even while talking, they will keep their hands like this because the spit should not fall at the on the guru. There is actually, this is all maryada, which one has to learn. They'll just keep like this. When tirtha comes, they'll keep like this kapda, and then tirtha should not fall down. So these are certain etiquettes which we should learn. Whenever great sages come, immediately fold your hands, stand before them, and talk with the folded hands. And the best is keep like this. That means you keep your mouth shut and hear more to what sages say. this is actually the real philosophy. Okay, spit and all is there, but actually when the sages come, we have to hear from the sages or make them hear. And here now Parikshit Maharaj is standing with his folded hands. And what is he doing? He is telling them about his decision that he has taken this vow of fasting till death. Okay. Sachidev Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport Jai Srila Prabhupada. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic instruction. Maharaj Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life.
So whatever decision he has taken, now he is telling them so that they can approve it. It is not that I have decided. No, please approve whether it is right or wrong. So he is asking their approval. That is etiquettes. These are all the etiquettes, not just take the decision. No, I have decided. I have decided to do Dandavat Parikrama. You take the approval first, because the sages know how deep you are situated in the water. If you do Dandavat Parikrama, what will happen? One Dandavat, two Dandavat, gone. So there are certain things which is not approved. There are certain things which the authorities approve. So whatever decisions a person takes in respect to spiritual advancement also, he needs approval from great sages, for which Parikshit Maharaj is a right example. You see, he has taken the approval. And that fasting up to death is just to get detached from the worldly affairs and hear about Krishna. Okay. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. Yes, Sachidev Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, that verse number 3, which we did last time, but you read it today. Therefore, I wish that my kingdom, strength, and riches burn up immediately by the fire of the Brahmana's wrath, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitude. So here he says, burning up of the kingdom, strength, and riches. So here I wanted to ask you, I wanted a humble question to you, that this Maharaj Parikshit who has committed this error, this mistake, is he the shadow of Maharaj Parikshit or is he the real Maharaj Parikshit?
So here he is the real Maharaj Parikshit.
Okay.
Because he wants to show what should be the consciousness of a person when he commits a mistake. How should be a devotee?
Okay.
So it is like the two characters. One character is showing what is devotional service, how should be a pure devotee? One has done the mistake.
So there are two in one.
Two in one.
So now the point arises that he's saying he's desiring the burning up of the kingdom, strength, and riches. And you have already always taught us that a devotee's desire Krishna always fulfills. So that means here he must be the pure devotee, because it can mean both the things. It can mean that either he's a pure devotee and is desiring this, and then Krishna is fulfilling it by all that whatever is going to happen in the sitting on the banks of river and all that. Or it can be that he is that second shadow one, that two in one wala, and he is expressing his desire for burning of the strength riches, and that is his prior karma which is getting fulfilled now. So it can both can be possible in this case. Is it correct?
See, in the previous words, the family members of a devotee, here it said, Parikshit Maharaj desired the calamity to fall on him alone, not on his family members.
Yes.
If you say he is desiring that the kingdom should be burnt, that means what is he desiring?
He is
Not only I will
desiring
be burnt, but
detachment.
everybody should be burnt. Is he talking
No,
that?
he's desiring the
No.
detachment from this
this
material.
is
He's desiring that. So he's desiring that. So it looks like this is the pure devotee Maharaj.
So here the consciousness of the pure devotee has been taken by the shadow Parikshit.
Oh, so high level. Consciousness of the pure devotee King Parikshit number one has been taken over by number two shadow Maharaj Parikshit.
Yes.
What a paragraph. And then next question is, the path of perfection frees one. I'm talking about this text for purport. The path of perfection frees one from all material attachments, and thus one becomes fit to enter into the spiritual kingdom. So idhar tak theek hai. Then that one line is important. Therefore, those who are materially poverty stricken are better candidates than those who are materially prosperous. So here the phrase, there the words materially poverty stricken can again have two this thing. So I'm confused. So one is that materially poverty stricken here means actually garib, not having material assets, etc. Or does it mean that the material poverty stricken means those who have de-alienated themselves from the materialism, have become detached from the materialism?
Namo akinchana
Or,
vittaya nivritta gunavrittaye.
yeah, that words we have done in the exam last time. Nivritta. So then what does it mean? It means these two, or it means both of them are expressed here? That was the question. दोनों का meaning है इसमें कि वो वैसा वाला है, what I told. Path of
One
perfection
who
from
is
one
poverty stricken. See, one who is poor, he struggles for food. Understand it very nicely.
Yes.
We are not talking about that poor person who is struggling for fun. Here,
that
poverty
was
stricken, we are talking about one who has the
That
real
was.
wealth, Krishna.
Yeah. So that means they have the one who has himself got detached from the material asset. That person is called the materialist Christian. That is indicated by that verse which you just quoted. And the last question.
Materially poverty stricken are better candidates than those who are materially prosperous. Now again, understand it nicely here. This line
That is
refers
this
to
is more higher.
Again, higher meaning you take, or let us take in the basic level. Materially poverty stricken. His desire is only for having some food. They are better than those who are materially prosperous. Why? They have multiple desires. Lot of money, lot of lavish enjoyment. So better is no money, no enjoyment, sit at home.
So then we are talking. Then we come back to that analogy which of single focused minded versus branches. The materially prosperous ones are multi branch. Their mind is more deviated. And the one who is garib is only focused. मतलब कम से कम खाना, food, clothing, shelter तो मिल जाएगा. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Some
Yeah,
call.
got it, Mata. Yeah,
okay.
no, I got it, Mata.
Okay. Vimla Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In the text 8, in the purport it is said, common men go to pilgrimage sites to get themselves purified of all sins. What does it mean?
People go to pilgrimage sites to get purified of all sins. Yes, you take bath in Ganga, you'll be purified of the sins. So whatever sinful activities we are doing, whatever reactions we are getting, Ganga has the power to purify our sins. That means to make us free from the sinful reactions. But that much faith in Ganga should be there. Even if you don't have also, like you are taking medicine. You may have faith in medicine, you may not have faith in medicine. But the medicine will do its action. So even if you don't have faith in Ganga, also if you go and take dip in Ganga, Ganga has the potency to remove your sins. You have faith, then it becomes more effective. Okay. There's subtle things. Subtle things are very difficult to understand. Until unless you come in the Mayapur Yatra now and take bath in Ganga there, where Mahaprabhu did wonderful pastimes, afternoon pastimes. Okay. Vrindavan Leela Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, in the 7th verse, the last line says that Parikshit Maharaj Mukt Samasta Sangha, means he is freeing himself from all kinds of association. But we see him that he is taking association of all the sadhus. In fact, he is like giving them due
Yes,
respect.
Sangha refers to the one who are deviating from the worldly people. The Sangha refers to worldly people.
But was he
Atyahara
associated?
prayasascha prajalpo niyamaha graha janasangascha. There also Sangha Shabda comes on.
But here
Janasangascha
it is mentioned, Mataji, all kinds of samasta.
and attachments. When you say all kinds of attachments, it refers to Janasangha only. Na?
Then was he
Sadhu
actually
Sangha has
having?
not been given. Sadhu Sangha, how can a person come out of Sadhu Sangha?
That's what I was thinking. That's one, and then he never had any bad association as such. So what is he trying to dissociate himself from?
King means he has many associations. The people are associated, the whole subjects are there, variety problems are to be solved. So then his own family members, friends, everybody is not a sadhu there. This is a praja and the raja.
And second is, Mataji, why there is so much of alternation between Ganga Tat and Yamuna Tat at places? Like in many
Sometimes Ganga
verses.
is spoken, sometimes Yamuna is spoken, right?
Yes.
It's Yamuna only. But it is referred to Ganga because Ganga flows from the lotus feet of Krishna, has the Tulasi, has a dust. Yamuna, when a Ganga is sanctified 100 times, she is Yamuna. So same
Yes, we
Yamuna is
read
Ganga
that.
only. So that is all. Sometimes Yamuna is told, sometimes Ganga. But Hastinapur is on the banks of Yamuna.
Yamuna. But it can create confusion, Mataji.
That is why Srila Prabhupada writes very nicely there and clears. Because Ganga is carrying the dust, and no difference between Ganga and Yamuna. Like there is no difference between Mayapur Dham and Vrindavan. In Mayapur, Ganga flows. Because Ganga says, you have done all the pastimes on the banks of Yamuna, now show me also. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows all the pastimes in Ganga. Jaiman Prabhu, your hands are raised, your question. Okay then.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days of life, and at the same time he wants to fast to death. Why is it?
Yeah, in that 7 days he is not inclined.
Suicide, no?
Not wasting time in eating and sleeping and passing stool. He just has 7 days, so he wants to utilize it perfectly. Because when you eat, when you drink, naturally all shaucha, everything has to be done. That much water is needed, taking bath. He doesn't want to waste any time. The high level consciousness that is. When Srila Prabhupada stopped eating, stopped drinking, practically was just taking some small drops of charnamrit. He stopped everything. Ichha mrityu. It's all ichha mrityu. So last 1 month, Prabhupada was only hearing and speaking about Krishna. Okay, any other doubt? Stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyam Vishnu 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 Vishnu